Welcome back to Mrs. Wizard's Way, and look what the wizard bought me. I know, it's amazing, isn't it? Let's talk about it. Hey, your favorite car girl next door, and this is my new ride. This is a 2024 Defender 90, which means it's just a little bit shorter than the 110. It's a two-door rather than a four-door, which we were fine with when we were looking at this, because we don't have kids in the house anymore, and if we do have them in the car, maybe once a month or so, maybe twice a month, they're young and agile enough they can climb in there. But Wizard did a video on his channel, but I'm going to show you some of those things that I've already added to it to customize the car even more. I'm not going to put it on the lift. You can do that in his video, but there's some things that I didn't show in his channel that I'm going to show you today. And most of them are obviously going to be in the interior because the exterior is in great shape. There's nothing wrong with it. And I love the fact it's not white. I know, a Land Rover that's not white. Isn't that amazing? This will be the third Land Rover that we have owned. The first was a Discovery 1, which we ended up buying when we found it in Tulsa and drove it back. And Wizard's like, yeah, we'll be back, no trouble. We'll run down there, come back on a weeknight when I was teaching. Yeah. He's like, he calls me at one point, we're finally back to Wichita, so we're most of the way home. And he says, hey, starting to get a little overheated here. I'm like, are you kidding me? It's like 10:30 at night and I've got to be up at 5 o'clock in the morning. What are you talking about? And we're not home yet. We're another half hour from home. And yeah. He drove it back. He got it back, and guess what? The head gasket was blowing, but he got it fixed. And that was a great car. I love that car. There's a snow car for us. It could do anything. It was just fabulous because at that time we still lived on a farm, well, a rural property, so it was on a dirt road, and that thing could handle it. The second one was that Land Rover Discovery Sport that you've seen in videos of his, and that was a good car. But again, as you drive, and when I was teaching, I was putting a lot of miles on my car. I had to, well, get rid of them over time because they just get too many miles. But that was a great one, and guess what? It was white. My last car, the Levante, it was white. So I was excited to have something not white. And it seems odd that they make Land Rovers in other colors, isn't it? They actually had a really pretty blue one in the showroom when we were there, but it had the 4-cylinder, and it was a 110, and it was just like, oh, not cool. We did try driving a Defender 90 with the 4-cylinder, and while it was nice, it didn't have the power. It was like sluggish. It was almost like that ML350 we used to have. It was really, really slow. It's like, So we bumped up to this one. We're like, well, let's try this one. Much better, much faster. And you know what? I can't imagine how quick this would be with the V8. That would be insane. So this is great. It's got perfect get up and go for the highway, for in town if something, you just need to gun it a little bit. But let's hop into that interior. Let me show you some of those things that I've done. Okay, so we're in the car, and I really like this. It's high up, and one thing I did to make it so you don't have to hop so much to get into here is this seat is electric and it goes up and down. So I just set it to its lower setting, and so it makes it a little bit easier to hop in and out. Wizard and I are both rather tall. We're both about 5'9", 5'10", without shoes on, so it's not like it's impossible to climb up here. I don't need running boards to hop in here, but that made it a little bit easier. But let me go ahead and show you some of the things that we've done in here. So one thing I didn't show you before, and I just have this in accessory mode at the moment, is that this is what the gauge cluster looks like illuminated. But the center section you really can't change. It is going to be your tachometer. You can change the left and the right sides to show different things. And on the left, normally when I'm driving, I have kind of a trip, kind of showing different, how the long range of the car, how much gas does it have, how much further can we go on that gas, kind of things like that. On the right, there's what I'm playing on my radio right now. But one thing that is nice is that you can see that there's 3 little chairs back there, and those denote if there's a person in the back seat. When I had the kids in the car the other day, I just asked them, hey, buckle in the third person, the middle person. It did show. Once the buckle was there and it was fastened, it actually turned on. And they took it off, and they're like, bing, bing, bing. Okay. Ooh, it's 30 miles an hour speed limit here in the shop. Whoa, that's a little quick for in here, but everything's looking good. There obviously is no problems, and it does say it has 1,076 miles on it, so I've driven a few miles more from when I drove this when I shot the Wizards video, and it is 46 degrees. It is awfully chilly. Another thing we didn't show on the Wizard channel is what this looks like illuminated. And there is our HVAC system. You can see that it is nicely glowing in different things. One thing I truly love is this button right here. Auto stop start turn off. Yes. In the Levante, you had to go into the screen and you had to, type this and that. No, none of that. You just had to go and click right there. This is so much easier. If I want to turn on heated or cooled seats, you just click the outer rim and then you can turn this and this would turn it on. It's not going to do it now because the car's not running, but that is so easy and nice. Now let's talk about some of the mods I've added. When we initially got the car, there was this big cavernous kind of a drop space down here. And this is actually where I'm keeping the owner's manual at the moment. And you can kind of see down there. There's it's a big space down there. There's a little notepad under there. But yeah, it's a big space. And I was like, ooh, if I have a drink in here, and I do have the charge mat, but this is kind of recessed under here. It's not easy to access. I wonder if they have something else. So I went on, of course, Amazon, and I found this odd little shelf. Yes. But what it does is amazing. It just easily, literally hops in there. And it makes a nice spot that you can, put something, put some lip gloss, your phone. It's got little spots here on the side if you want to, keep it to the side. You still can plug in everything you have that you need charging. But yeah, that was one addition that I thought was a really good addition. The next one is in the armrest. Well, actually, there's two here in the armrest. And here is one. This is just a simple little tray because when we bought it, that's what it looked like. And there you go. I have gum and little cloths to clean my screen. But yeah, it was awfully deep. And I was like, okay, well, that can be kind of nice, but it's awfully deep and, things can get easily lost. Well, part of this set that I bought came with that shelf and this little shelf here. And so it's got a spot for keys. We can get into the shop, but it's a nice little spot that, hey, it's easy to keep track of. And I guess I could put coins in there, but I never will. It just holds the pin lid, I guess. The other is actually here. And this is kind of like a safe kind of a thing. I don't know. They kind of market it as like a hiding spot, but it has a little spot here. This just pops out of this space and you can hide things in there. I don't actually have anything in there, but hey, it's there. I bought it. It came as a 3-pack. It was cheaper to buy all 3 than it was to buy just the 2 items by themselves. So that's a nice addition. I can maybe hide something in there, put a couple extra bucks in there if something like that. There was another addition that could have been added, but I thought, I don't know if I like that one. But let me show you what could have been added, which is an option that could be an additional items to put in here. Let's see. In the, oh my gosh, handles right here, you could actually put little trays and put something in each of them. There's 3 of them. I was like, I don't think I need that because already there's this shelf and a nice little hidey spot for Wizard to keep his clip-on sunglasses. So there's all of that. Each door card has a nice spot, which has an umbrella in it. Then we have all of the storage space in here and down below, plus there's the glove box over there. I was like, I don't think I need little trays to go up there. That seems like just a spot to catch crap. So I didn't think that was necessary at all. But let me show you something in the back seat. Since it is a 2-door, you have to move the seat forward. And one thing that is nice, on the driver's side, it is an automatic seat. So all I had to do was push the one button that says go forward, and it automatically pulls all the way forward. Still have to tip this forward to let them in and out. Okay. Then to push it back, you could push this one, but the second you let off, it stops. Secret here is come over here and press the memory button, and then it goes all the way back. I was kind of annoyed for a while. I was like, what? This makes no sense. I can push one button and it goes all the way forward, but I can't make it go back. I have to sit there and hold the button. No, push the button on the door, a lot easier. But let me show you what we can do in the back seat, which was kind of annoying, but I found a good way to solve it. So one thing that's nice is in the back seat is you can lay those headrests down. This does have some nice blind spots between the tire back there and if those headrests are all standing up. But if you lock them down, it's a lot easier. There's just a button on the side you push and they lay down. You can lay the seats down and you do need to pull them forward. So let's go ahead and pull them forward. That's the first step. Then we have to go to the back. Let's head back there. So it is a 40-60 split, and it's really simple. It just normally has the little bar back here, and I find it easier to lay the seats down, at least the back part, from this back area. So real quick, let's push it down. I have to slide off the seat belt, and there it goes. It's pretty simple, but then I'm like, oh, how do I get that thing back up? And initially, when I first got this, I was like, how am I going to make this work? Because if I go in there, it takes almost 2 people, and I'm not always with somebody if I need to lay the seats down and put them back up. So I was like, well, how am I going to make this easier for me? And I was like, well, I could push on it. Well, I did. Went in there and I got it halfway up, and trying to get it to, latch, and it's hard to do because the seats are in the way up there. You've already knocked them forward. It's hard to get back there to let them down. It's like, okay, I can't really pull them up. They're really heavy. So what did I do? Well, I started looking on Amazon. I'm thinking, you know what, these latch systems where you normally put the back strap for the baby seat, I could use that. I wonder if I could put something on there to help pull up on these seats. And so I'm searching, and I found something that was kind of a nylon, but it was like 8 inches long. I was like, well, that's gonna hang awfully low. What if I got something shorter? And you know how Amazon says, hey, you're looking at this, here's something that looks kind of like it, maybe you'll want it. And they were suspender extenders. Yeah, so if you're kind of a big kind of person wearing your suspenders and you need a little more space, that's what these are. They're leather. I got to choose the color, so I chose obviously a dark gray color, but let me show you how easy it is to pull this up. I just grab. Okay. It isn't the easiest, but did you see I actually got it up? There we go. You do have to make sure the seat belt stays out of the way. And if you know you're only going to need a little bit in there, it's a lot easier to do the 40 side than the 60 side. You can lay this one down separately, but it's really easy. You just have to grab the strap and pull it on it. And they hang here. I did have to buy little clips to connect them, little kind of a D-clip kind of thing, but it was really pretty cheap, and this was been a really nice addition. I don't even hear them back here. I never hear them banging or anything when I'm driving. So that was another thing. I guess as part of the new purchase sale, they throw in things. And part of that is they did include this nice little basket. And it has little Velcro spots. You can, organize it so it's not permanently stuck here. So if you need to move things around, you can. But it sits here nicely, and I can throw in a gallon of milk and not have to worry about it slinging across the back of the seat. Let me also show you, underneath that, they also included like a special tray, but I need to put the seat back down to show you. So normally if you get a Defender, it comes with this rubber mat in the back. So it's just on this level, way down here. This dark area is not included. It's a special leveling tray. So notice that this area and this are now the same height. And that's been really nice. It came initially and it didn't have a lid. And we're like, what's going on? Where's the lid? Well, what you have to do is, this is the actual lid that's normally under this mat on the bottom level. So you have to take this off, and you just put it on top. But let me move this out of the way. And so here's a storage area, and it just pop it up, and there it is. Got like my blanket in here. I've got like a canvas bag. It did come with a first aid kit, and so I do keep it open because it's too tall otherwise. So I just leave it open in the back here. One thing. This is another helpful tip. If you have a hard plastic, and this is a hard plastic where things could be rolling around, and if you don't want your trunk to sound like it has bowling balls rolling around in it, this can be a godsend. It's just a silicone mat. It's just a simple and I chose gray because it matched everything. But you can put this down, and then things don't go rolling around and moving in your trunk space. So that was one thing, and I just set it here. And that's it. It doesn't really take a whole lot. It just lays there. Then I can lay this back. So then you just lay this down and it, there. It's pretty aggressive. It snaps into place. So it actually makes a nice level space across. And this is a really hard plastic that has kind of a diamond pattern on it, kind of like what it has on the hood. So I put everything back together again, and there's on this back door is another little spot I thought I'd share with you. Here I have two little spots that I could put something in there. I don't have anything in there now because this is a manual closed door. There's no automatic door. That's one thing I did lose from the Levantes. I don't have the ability to open the back hatch from a button, or that weird foot kick where you're wiggling your foot back and forth. That thing never seemed to work anyway. I just look like an idiot standing at Walmart with my foot wiggling trying to open it. Half the time I just reach under there and open it. But I haven't put anything in here because it closes hard, and so I don't have anything. Behind here is our safety flag in case I need that if we break down. It's very, very industrial and utilitarian, which I'm fine with. I really didn't lose very many items from going from the Levante to this, other than maybe some of the finer leathers. It's not the same. The leather on the steering wheel feels a little different. But one thing I did gain is I got back a heated steering wheel. I have rainouts, and so my hands really don't like cold weather. I loved in a video where I mentioned that previously, and someone in the comments had written that I should just suck it up and just not worry about it. Well, it's like I don't have that choice. My hands automatically don't like cold weather, and they very quickly tell me with burning and turning white that they don't like it. The heated steering wheel has been a nice addition. The other thing I gained was cooled seats. I had heated seats previously, but not cooled seats, so another thing. But many of the other items that I want in a car are there. I love that extending telescoping visor that you can put from the front to the side to make sure that you're not blinded. That I really appreciate. Another thing I gained is I missed this with the Levante by 1 year. Having the app that you can check your car out or have some control over it. Yeah, I missed that by 1 year with the Levante. The next year's model had that ability. I have that with this, so now I can check things. I actually have a notification that I need to do an update for this. It'll connect to my house's Wi-Fi. You can schedule it. It says it's going to take about 30 minutes, and I can just tell it, hey, why don't you do that at like 2 in the morning or something? Just lock the doors on the car, and it'll update when it gets to that time. So that's been another kind of a new thing. I've not had a car that needs to have software updates when it thinks it needs it, or at least when they push it out. And I really kind of hope that Land Rover is going to do better than Microsoft. Microsoft seems to have the history of, let me put, an update, and a few more. Yeah, so I'm hoping that Land Rover Jaguar is not going to be inundating me with one every day, because I do have to approve them and schedule them. So I didn't want to leave you guys hanging and not show you how this goes back. I'm literally just going to push the one here, and there it goes. It's already starting to go back. I'm not touching anything. So I'm not sure why they had that programmed to not have an auto close on it, but that's the way it is. So I just had to manually put that back, because I did manually put that forward. But that's it. It's got telescoping steering wheels. It's got all sorts of controls. You can monitor everything, which is standard with most cars today. But notice that it is awfully tall. I'm working on trying to find a car wash service. Amazingly, no muffler Newton is also no automatic car wash Newton. They have a few that you can kind of drive through, like at a gas station, but half the time they're broken. And I've tried another one or two here in town, little places. And when I get back, it's like, oh, water spots. And not just water spots, I mean like the etching into your paint kind of spots. Ugh. So obviously it's going to be, I don't mind taking it to a manual wash, but I can't reach up there. So that's one thing I'm still working on. We're going to keep that in mind, but luckily it's not been too wet. I haven't had driven in too much rain. Oh. And as much as this is prepared to be the rugged outdoor vehicle, would you take your brand new car out in the snow? I don't think I am going to be for a while. Luckily, we have old Junkie Juke that we can use as our snow car. And worst case scenario is this girl doesn't have to leave the house if it's really nasty outside, which I so appreciate. After years of driving from Halstead, where we used to live in our farm, into Wichita to go teaching at usually 5:30 in the morning. Yeah, I really did not appreciate that, especially the years that I was driving our '06 Mustang with the manual transmission. Those creature comforts, like anti-lock brakes and things like that are so nice on a car that really didn't come with on the Mustang. It was sad. Glad you're with me today. This has been a great car so far. And if there's anything comes up, of course, we'll let you know. That's what we do. We talk about cars. So glad you're with me. Hope you've had a good holiday season, and I will see you next time. Bye.